Hello. It's the Y, and I'm here with Ricco today. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. So let's dive right into it, man. Horace is a very complex character. Can you tell me about how you end up becoming Horace, the audition process and everything?
You know, it's an interesting story. I wasn't even going to send the tape in. I got the tape. I got a call for the self-tape myself late at night. The next morning, I'd been busy for a few days working on other projects. And I had this thing on the back of my head that 90% of success is just showing up.
Absolutely.
So I thought, let me just put it on tape and send it off. And so I got with my wife and I said, listen, can you just help me with this? Let me just put it on tape. If I can get through it without messing up, then we'll send that in. And I'm doing the tape, I'm doing the audition, and halfway through my character coughs. And as I cough, she says her lines. I don't hear the lines, but I stay in character and I say to her, excuse me, and she's behind the camera going. And then I stay in character and I say, I didn't hear you. And then she says the line and we finish the scene. That is the scene, the tape that I sent in, mistake and all. Really? When I looked at it, I thought this is the essence of the character. Of course, there was a mistake in the middle of it, but it was the essence of the character. And I can do it again, and I might get all the lines right. But this is a good lesson for young actors to understand. It's not necessarily just getting the lines right that means it's a good audition. It's the essence of the character. And I felt that was the essence of the character. I sent it in, and that's what worked with the job.
Amazing. So, in your own words, why do you think Beauty in Black is such a hit? Why has it resonated with not just our people, but everybody, the whole world? To the point it's #1 multiple times.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's because, first of all, Tyler has a fan base that will help it out in the beginning, and that will spread the word. And once people see it, if it's good, they'll spread the word as well. And I think this particular show, it has so many interesting stories going simultaneously.
Absolutely.
Tyler doesn't get the credit for his casting, but I think he cast very well to be able to shoot a movie, 16 one-hour episodes in the course of a month. It requires a certain skill set from the actors. And he's able to cast people that can actually deliver that in that amount of time and work under his system.
So, what have you learned during your time with Tyler Perry? If you could put one thing down, what was the most notable thing you've learned with him?
Bring your A game. There's not a lot of time for development, so you have to do your homework before you walk on set. Once you walk on set, it's game time. But also to be flexible, because you'll be on set with Tyler, and you might improvise something, and he likes what you improvise, and then he'll just start throwing you lines. Now you got to catch those lines, digest them, and then deliver them on the spot. So you have to be flexible. I mean, some actors will learn their lines so much that if they deviate from those lines, all of a sudden they're lost. Well, you can't do that in a Tyler Perry production. If he throws you a line, you have to digest that line and make it work.
Who is your favorite castmate and why?
That's hard to say because I after watching the show myself, I have such high esteem for my cast, and it is very much an ensemble experience. But if I had to say any one person, it would probably be Kimmie, because we work so much together, and because my character has this love for her in the series. I find that sometimes when I have that on screen, I also carry that off screen, and I can really have something special for her. But at the same time, I would say Crystal Stewart, she is so different from the character that she's playing in real life that I can appreciate her talent, and that she has that range to actually deliver that type of character. She's nothing like the character.
Let's talk a little bit about Kimmie. Am I correct in saying your character fell in love with Kimmie because she was, I guess, okay with whatever you were down to do, or okay with your secret? So why do you think Horace fell in love with Kimmie?
I think I say it in the script. I think because I saw in her what I did not see in my sons, and what I always wanted in my sons. I wanted somebody who was hungry, who was smart, who could be ruthless because they have to be. I saw in her what I see in what he sees in himself, and it just happened that she's female.
So, one of your sons is actually my homeboy, Julian Horton, man.
My man.
You guys, that relationship on TV is insane, man. When he was in the hospital bed, he was pressing into his scar, man. How is it to play somebody that has such disdain for a loved one?
For me, that was difficult. Because I have two sons, and I love my son so much.
Yeah.
I can't imagine saying any of those things. And also with Julian. I love this dude off camera.
Yeah.
And so to say these horrible things to him,
it hurts.
It's I really have to get into character. And when I'm in character, then I'm in it. I'm in it to win it. The other thing about working with Julian is a very, I think method actor. He is fully committed, and so when he is locked in, it helps me to stay locked in, and we can go for it.
Let's get a little bit more into Horace. How do you play the duality? Because he's such an asshole, such an evil guy, but at the same time he has a heart. You know, he helps people out. He helps Kimmie out. He helps the people he has some emotions for. How do you channel that duality?
I got to tell you, that was the most interesting thing about it, the most attractive thing about playing this character. Because when you first meet him, you think that he's a senior citizen that's on a fixed income. Later on, you find out that he's worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
The richest one in the show.
When you first meet him, you think that he's the villain of the show. Later on, you realize he could be the hero of the show as well.
Yeah.
When you first meet him, you feel like he is extremely homophobic. But later on, you find out that he's a little curious himself.
Yeah.
So the man has so many different levels. And as an actor, to play a character like that is like a gift, if you can deliver.
Yeah, and I guess my last question for you, do you feel like, and obviously not with your sons, but do you feel like there is any way that a person could ever come to dislike their sons in real life the way Horace does? And what would be that reasoning?
I can only sum it up to ego for the individual himself, and also disappointment for his sons. I think it would have to be a combination of those things. That's something that I find really hard to do because I come from a family of 11 kids, and my parents were such a loving father. He only said he loved me one time, and that's when he was beating my ass for something I had done wrong. But I always knew that he loved me by his actions, not by his words. And so that is where the acting comes into play. Find that reality of such love for a son, but such disappointment because of the way they have developed, and also having to take some responsibility because if they developed that way, something in the raising wasn't done correct. So
Absolutely.
you got to look in the mirror too.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate you, man.
My brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man.